asked your child to go play, what do they do? What is your child?
He is running around.
Just running. And may I ask how old he is?
5.
5. Okay, so he likes to run around. How about yours?
Ours is 5 too. Our son's also blind, so if we tell him to go play, it's not happening.
What does he usually like to do?
He likes to stay by himself, really. He prefers to play alone and his own toys in his own space.
Yeah. So something that's so easy and so simple to say go play is not really so simple. It's actually a lot of work. But the importance of play is play is a huge component for learning. And so I know when you're looking at programs, you're looking at academics, at language, and all of those things, but children acquire those things through play. So for children on the spectrum, this is a huge deficit in their play area, but when we build programs at CAC, we try to put in a huge component of play. Because without play, what are the children going to be doing in their free time? So play is a really huge component for us at CAC when we look at programs. If you've seen us, we're changing our logo. This is our new logo. So if you've ever seen it on the pamphlets right here, that's our old logo. So this is going to be our new and improved logo moving forward. So playing is learning. And to me, that is like I said, playing is learning, so it's a huge component to our programs. So we may have a lot of language in our programs. We may have academic things in our programs. We have gross motor. We may have social, but play is a really huge component to learning. So we're looking at 4 areas that develop through play. In a lot of studies, there's a huge body of research that links a lot of play between functional basic skills to complex skills. So one of them is intellectual, and it increases areas of problem solving. So if you're looking at a child playing with blocks, they're learning problem solving. They're learning, oh, if I put this block here, it might tip over. If I build it higher, at this point, it's going to tip over. So they're learning creativity, problem solving through play. Another area that you're looking at is socialization. So children are learning how to turn take, how to share, how to control their impulses. I want that toy, you want that toy, so you can't have it at the same time. Sorry, 1 minute. It keeps going.
It keeps going. I'm so sorry.
I'll keep on like moving it around.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
We can just look at it too if it's
your
trouble, yeah.
It's our, I'll just get it going. Another area you're looking at is the area of emotions. It increases self-esteem, pride, feel of safety, development of self, feeling of purpose. I made this. Look, mommy, see what I did. So when you have children, they'll eventually come and show you the toys or take your hand and bring you to things that they've accomplished. Another area you're looking at is physical. So there's gross motor and fine motor that kids are accomplishing. Anywhere from completing a puzzle piece and using those fine motor puzzle piece pictographs to being able to crawl on the ground and understanding where their body is in space. And we know in children with autism, there's a lot of kind of body and space issues. Am I able to go up the stairs? Am I able to go down the stairs? We've had children that even had problems being able to navigate the sidewalk and understanding where their body was in space. Coordination and strength builds with play. As you get older, there turns into, instead of a lot of play, symbolic play, you get to gross motor play on the playground, and that's a lot what happens at school. So there's all these, goes from the kindergarten playground to the big kids playground, and they don't have jungle gyms out there. They have swings and they have soccer balls, so they're looking at gross motor. So play eventually evolves. So as simple as looking at block play, these are all the things that come out of block play, which is amazing. So out of block play, you can develop language. So receptive, requesting blocks. Man, I want blue, or blue, labeling colors. Green, blue, working and figuring out things. Social emotional play. It turns from parallel play side by side to functional pretend play. So looking at using the objects for what they're actually intended for. So I'm going to use a phone and say, hello, hello, I'll call my daddy, hi mommy. And it turns into cooperation. I'll share, you share, we'll play together, turn taking, your turn, my turn. And then a sense of mastery. When you're looking at motor, you're looking at being able to use large muscles to lift things, bend and carry. Again, looking at using your body in space and knowing where that is. And then fine motor, which is another big piece, is being able to have that hand-eye coordination, knowing where your hands are, where you want to place them. And I know with your son, he's blind, so I'm going to try to talk.
Yeah.
Like you can ask me things, I don't know much about that, but still you can.
Back to, I mean, a lot of it, when he's in ABA now, and we're doing a lot with turn taking, we just have him feel that it's their turn, and then give it back and explain, now it's your turn, and he feels that it's his turn. So, I mean, really just any of this, you can do it by feeling.
Yeah, so that's how he senses things, is through feeling versus looking at visual
And
cues. So-
textures, yeah, we handle everything with textures.
Perfect. So the importance of play, if someone has a play program in your program, that's great. That's what you need because with the do your children exhibit stereotypy? So hand flapping, scripting, those types of behaviors.
Yeah.
So you're looking at, to reduce those, if you're reducing behaviors like those, you want to be able to replace it with something. So you can't say, stop that without telling them to go do something else. So play is another big skill builder, it's a replacement skill for other skills that you don't want to see as much of. So maybe stereotypy is one of them, and that's what I use play for a lot of is if I'm going to tell a child to stop hand flapping or to stop scripting, I want to be able to replace it with something different and something appropriate. So what are all the other children doing their age? They're playing. So when they're at home and they're by themselves, I want to be able to replace that with play. So that again, they're learning and playing at the same time. So I did this talk. This is the development of play. I did this talk probably about a week ago. We talked about the different stages of play and then where your children are in these stages of play and then starting from there and moving forward. So the first part starts with birth to 24 months. There's that solitary play. So play by yourself. They may play near other children, but not necessarily with them. They're just involved with their toys. And they're exploring. There's a lot of exploration. Things go in the mouth, things go everywhere. They're touching, and they're touching everything that are even non-toy things. 24 to 30 months, children are transitioning to parallel play. So children want to play with the same things other children. They're starting to notice that children are playing with other toys. They don't necessarily want to share those toys, but they want to play beside them and close to them. So are any of your children in any of these two stages?
Still in solitary.
Solitary, and then
Somewhat of these transitions, but not completely.
okay, and that's okay because whenever we're building play programs, you start where your child is right now, and then you build.
You'll play with adults, but you have no interest in playing with children.
Yes.
Years.
And that's, do you know why?
Because he trusts us that we're going to provide for his basic needs.
Yeah, adults are so accommodating.
Yeah.
We are built to care for your needs. If you need something, we'll provide it for you. Up here at that same level, they're just trying to get their needs met. So it's 42 to 48 month, now play is starting to develop even more. This is the associative play. Play begins in larger groups and organized social interactions. So this is when they start learning to play together. Okay, let's bring all the blocks together. We're gonna make a bridge and all the cars will come here. And then another child will come in. No, we're not doing bears. We're doing trains and blocks. So play quickly develops from 0 to 48 months. And then you're looking at 48 months plus is the cooperative play, where they're starting to play in larger groups. And this has to do with organized group play with rules. So we're going to play tag, you're in that space, and then the rules change, and then they start changing. So these are all the different types of play that we're looking at for your child to go through. So even if your child is a solitary play, it's okay. There's always like basic building blocks. And that's what we say is putting together, starting small and building from there. And then you're creating a really strong foundation for play. So far, questions about how play develops? So, for you guys, when you set up play at home, do you have play things that you like to do with your children at home?
Pretty much you try to play with different girls in the lots and all later. But he seems to be really interested in that.
What does he like?
You like playing with cars, or you like playing cars.
Yeah, what does he do with them?
He does stack them together and just look at it and they show you online.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's the one thing is for children on the spectrum, their play might be more stereotypical manner. So there might be the lighting up of the toys or repetitive. So the way that I differentiate this is there any imagination or creativity in the play? Are they using it to actually, is there pretense, is there pretend versus just using it for, okay, I'll have children, they will have the whole time as the train set, but they're running the trains the same way up and down the lines. So it's a repetitious type of play versus a creative type of play. And so we're going to try to move from that repetitious play to something creative. What type of play was your son like to do?
Our son is nonverbal.
Okay.
He really likes gross motor play. Like he likes to do trampoline, swimming, things like that are very active.
Physically stimulating. He likes the water. He swims.
Very
Fish.
physically stimulating. But I will say on what you said about stereotypical behaviors, if you put something,
Organize them, and I'll have families put them in bins in their garage, and then we'll shop out of the garage so the toys stay fresh. So organize your toys, like say there's a whole bunch of stuffed animals, put them all, if he's not using them and your child's not using them, go ahead and put them away. So at least the area's organized. You know what toys are there. He knows what toys are there. And he doesn't get confused like, oh, we're not playing with these right now. That's okay, you can reintroduce them later. So I always like to do that, is shop out of the garage with toys that we already have. But it's bringing out new things and keeping them fresh. So go ahead and put away all them. I take those big Rubbermaid baskets and then boxes and just put organized toys that way. When you take them out, it's almost like it's fun when you take out new toys in them. So the first couple times, keep it simple, keep it short. So if your child likes, let's say he's starting with the puzzles. Does he have puzzles that he does like?
not for us.
Do you have puzzles that you use?
We have some that are like farm shapes and things like that. But
And do they make like things that make noise?
yes,
So does he like the ones that make noise?
we haven't tried that.
I would just go shop around. I think you guys have awesome garage sales here. Is getting those puzzles for him who needs tactiles as the knobs. Starting the ones that have sound feedback for him. And starting small. And then for your son, what does he like? He do puzzles?
Yeah, but a little more of my puzzle like 10, 12 weeks inside the puzzle. But for 3 or 4 weeks, happy with it.
Perfect. All you want him to do is just enjoy playing with you with that simple puzzle. You're not looking at teaching him something new. You're just looking at him going, okay, come on, let's go play. And you're going to start it kind of, wow, that's great. And end it great. End it early.
open.
Let me see if I can get it.
So he's figuring out that the balls can go in the holes. So thinking about the imitate strategy of the puzzle, what would you do to join in with his play? Now let me offer one suggestion. Come around and be more face to face with him.
So she's asking him from behind to be face to face with him.
Already it changes the look of your play. It looks like you're playing with him rather than just watching him. So now I'm a kid. So we think it has to be something so difficult. We have to have all the education about autism to work with them. Ready? Get?
Have a tactile picture of something that simulates that, but it's a lot of those feelings. So ready, set, go, twinkle, twinkle, little, and he hands you the picture of a star and you sing the rest of it. So that facilitates the learning of language.
Do you have a better way to facilitate cause and effect? Because when Aiden does something, he doesn't see the end state to what he's done. Say, even if he puts a ball in a hole and it rolls down something and comes out, that's not stimulating him because he can't see it. So it does. He puts the ball in and then the ball's gone.
Right, he doesn't understand why we
Where
would
it
do
went
that.
because you have to see it going around. I would even look like, I would say doing stuff with the GAC, all that Play-Doh, and just having him have his hands put in and then taking them out. And then asking for him to put his hands in or asking for Play-Doh. So doing those types of things, because those feel good. When you take the Play-Doh and you just splash it on his hands, or the you know the GAC.
Mhm.
Does he tend to eat that? Put it
No, he likes it. He likes it rubbing the carpet.
But we let him.
No, he likes it.
I'm teasing.
It just gets dirty really quick.
Yeah.
Like we just buy like 10 bottles at a time, yeah.
Yeah, I would take those things like the beans, the rice beans, different
Yeah.
kinds of things. So when she says keep it simple, you can say put on or put in and use the same language. So because he's receptively hearing, your children are receptively hearing your instructions. So they'll understand, oh, when you use the rice bin, I'm putting in the car, putting in the car. Or if you're playing, puzzles, put in, he knows that's what it is. And you're praising at the same time. Great job, great job. So remember, keep it simple, using action words. And because it sounds like your children are non-verbal, I would use the words that you want them to know. So instead of saying, hey buddy, I want you to put the puzzle piece in the puzzle, that would be awesome, versus put in. So just simple language. So encouraging language through play. For your kids, you could even do Ring Around the Rosie, just hearing the same song over again. Ring around the rosy, bucket full of posy, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. That's a fill-in. So you can eventually expect to fill that in and maybe use even a PEX card for that, a textual one, or a PEX card for you to say, go down. And we do that in the center a lot with our young children because it's just a fun song. You're running, you're holding to it 2 people, and then all of a sudden you're going to go down on the ground. And you likely go down on the ground, and they all love it. So then by the end, I'll sing it for them a couple of times. And then by the 3rd or 4th song, I'll pause and I'll go, we all fall. And then they'll either do it vocally or they'll do it with a PEX and then we all go down. So it's something expected, it's something fun. It creates and facilitates language. It pairs you with all good stuff and it makes play fun. So play traditionally, as we know it, is not the way that we want to say it.
So if you won't quite give us a card, is a sign appropriate?
Yeah, and even, I don't know what down is.
I mean, we could look it up or.
Yeah, I haven't asked her that, I'm sure.
Sure.
I've had asked. So you could do a sign, and that's probably for him. If he has his spiders good, if it is that, you could just go ahead and hand over hand prompt him and do down and go, down, good job. And if you wanted to do that 10 times, it's 10 times that you're playing with him. And as soon as he gets bored, playtime's over, everybody had a good time with him, and he learns some language at the same time. So your play could be building a lot of language with your child.
I'm so sorry.
But sign it. Oh,
about that presentation.
I'm gonna touch everything on here.
I am so sorry.
So, Ring Around the Rosie, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. What are some other ones? Even like I'll get the kids all riled up. I'll do lots of tickles with them, and I'll just start with lots of big tickles, and then I'll withhold them. And they have to either say tickles, sign tickles, or give me the card for tickles, and then we'll tickle again. So those are all play things that you can do with your child, and it's fun.
We do it too for what to expect. I think like in the morning, every morning we sing the wheels on the bus before the bus gets there. And like with him we do a sign and I'm like the wheels on the bus. And every morning he's probably like, oh, but he knows that.
It gets him ready for the rest of the day.
And that like it's not gonna be like all of a sudden you're away from mommy. Like he knows the bus is coming and then I'm gonna be on the bus and then I'm gonna be at school. And
Yeah, I think that's great because it adds prediction for a world that you don't really know and how, where, how, when, who, and what are you going to be doing. So getting your child, priming them for the next step, whether it could be a picture schedule or songs that you sing, are great things to use.
songs are so good like for him because he likes music and it's like more fun than a learn. You know, for him it's more than if you do the same song over and over. He kind of gets to know that I can associate this with this activity.
Yeah, I mean, songs are fun. They use them in preschool all the time. I love them. Even this song, like open, shut them, or give up little, tap, tap, tap. He can learn that with hand over hand. And then that's even a get ready for school song. So they're expected things that you pick, and what you would do is you pick the one that your child learned it, then you go on to the next one.
There's a series of DVDs, and I believe it's called Language Express. My son was gone at age 6. And it's Language Express, and it goes through everything you need to know. Wash your face with soap, water. So there's a song for everything that they do throughout the house or play. And so I would sing all those songs because it was nonverbal. And then I would start the song as he grew, and then he would just go into motion and do what he needed to do. So I think it's called Language Express. It's Language Express, but there's a whole series of them. And I put him in the car and play, and that's how he learned how to navigate his world non-verbally. So I speech with all of this is called Language Express. And there's like 5 different
And if he loves the songs, it's based on repetition, repetition. And children with autism, repetition is key. So doing it over and over again until he masters it. So like I said again, don't worry about going to the next new thing. Let him master the one thing that you're doing and then go on to the next thing. Okay? So building your child's play. I first start, and this is where it sounds like with your children, we would first start with teaching closed-ended play like puzzle stringing beads. So I am always on the hunt. When I go into the store, I'm always looking for things that are in this area, closed-ended play. Because when you say go play, you can eventually say go play, and maybe your child will be able to play for 10 to 15 minutes and truly play with the toys that were intended. So that's what you want to first start with. Are things like the inset puzzles, the things like the shape sorters. Has he tried shape sorters yet?
No, we have a couple, but
I would try the big, like 3-set inset puzzles.
yeah, his fine motor isn't quite there yet, so we've really been working on the bigger ones would be great, I think. For him.
With the
Yeah.
big knobs. And you can even make your own where he's just even putting big objects in things where they fit. You can just make your own things. So when I am first teaching play, I will have 15 to 20 of these things that your child can do. So when I do say go play, then I can go have them go put together in a play schedule. So there's so many of these puzzles that you could pick for your child to begin their play. So once you have about 5, 4 or 5, you can start a play schedule. And I can see you guys doing this with a tactile one. I have made 3D picture pets, and we would obviously glue them on, and we used magnets instead of Velcro because it was easier for this one child, and we used just a big cookie tin. So that it was easier to pull off because he did have fine motor issues and he couldn't pull. The Velcro was just too hard for him. So we epoxy glued everything. And we found objects that were miniature that he could feel them and then use them as a picture schedule.
Yeah, that's what we do sort of with a tactile calendar with like snack or lunch as a spoon, and it's on there. So
Yes.
you feel the spoon. I mean, just like you would have a picture of it, except you can feel it.
Right. Yeah. I absolutely love. I've made probably 2 or 3 of those in my career of doing it, and they were fun to make. The parents got really good at making them. We started off making them at first, but they were very useful
It's
than the
tricky.
traditional.
Yeah, you just have to find objects that you can really be consistent with, like even when you're out and about, because
And they get big and they get heavy.
yeah, like you don't want to use this $1 million spoon that you're never going to be able to.
You never be able to replicate.
Yeah.
I think the dollar store is good for those.
Yeah.
Anything at the dollar store we
Yeah.
can replicate. But let's say your son had 2 things, like 2 or 3 things, where it was the trampoline, the rice beans, and maybe a puzzle. So you just make the 3 pictures of them. And then they were always in the same place. So what I would do is I would have this on the door, and if I would always put them in the same spot. So I had this on the door like this, and I had the puzzles over here, and the beans over here. They would go and say, okay, it's time for Play-Doh. They would go, match it to the same bin, they'd play it, and because it's closed-ended, it will stop when the play is completed. They'd go to the next one, pick that one, match it to the bin, and play it. And that's why you're picking closed-ended, because by the time that they're done, the puzzle's completed, go to the next one. So you're looking for a lot of closed-ended play. So I'll have children that will do picture schedules, and it could be 20 minutes that they will play. And we do them, sometimes we'll do them, and you know the drawer sets, the rolling file drawer sets? We'll have one in the house, and we'll put the pictures here, like this, and then we'll match. So if it's Play-Doh, they'll match it to the drawer, get the things out of the drawer, and they'll roll it all over the house. So if it's the family's in the family room, we'll be in the family room. If the family's upstairs in the bonus room, we'll roll that to the bonus room so that your child can be with you wherever you want to be. So you're just looking at small things and eventually getting to that.
I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
For, like, you were saying for close-ended, and then say the last thing you do isn't necessarily close-ended, like the trampoline. For our son, he gets very frustrated when he wants to keep playing and it's time for the next activity. So,
I would do all the closed-ended first.
and then
So
do it.
puzzle, because the open-ended, he needs to just jump it out because it sounds like he loves physical
Yeah.
activity. So you would not, it would be setting up for not a great playtime if you asked him to put trampoline in the beginning and he wanted to jump for another half an hour.
Well, some nights, I mean, he would choose to sleep out there if we let him. Like he doesn't want to be done. Sometimes he gets tired, but a lot of times, if he's not done, it's frustrating. So we're trying to curb that frustration, I guess, to where he understands
And for
he
those-
can't jump all night. Like,
Right, and so let's say like,
Or if his baby sister's having a bath, he wants a bath, he wants a bath.
he'll freak out, like, because he hears the water, and I mean, we can't just keep him away every time she gets back. Like, that's not really teaching him that it's not his.
After it calms down, though, you can't say dinner in bath. So, like, you're dinner without any complaint, and then you'll take a bath.
and I think that's probably what's hard for him is that he doesn't know what his So you're not out there for 3 hours, and he's not out there till midnight trying to sleep out there. But once he understands the timer, the schedule will work
So much easier.
so much easier.
On the phone.
And you can have timers all, I just get the timers and I put them all over the house. And so we have them in the playroom, in the ABA room, outside, in the kitchen. So when you have an open-ended activity like trampoline or swimming or a bath, you can set a timer and the timer signifies this is the end of the movement.
It's not negotiable,
It's
it's just the way
done.
it is.
Yes, but in the beginning, because play is so hard, we just pick the closed-ended ones. You can always finish up with an open-ended one. So like say the open-ended might be for your son, he might want to play cars at the end. You put his fun thing at the very end of the play schedule. So then he can just play that. He's earned it, he's got it, he did all these other not so fun things, but at the end, you're going to do a super fun thing because you did a great job playing. So for open-ended, start getting used to the timer. Those have timers.
Because you can hear it and associate. Yeah.
And it sounds like for you guys, he hears like water that he knows that's
Yeah.
something is happening that I like, so let
He's-
me have it too.
He really isn't like he will throw a tantrum, but that's probably the worst tantrum I've ever seen from him because he's normally a pretty even-keeled guy. But if that's like one of his favorite activities,
Yeah.
and he was not happy. I mean, like, what I'm trying to say is that he will generally lose focus on what it is that upset him, and then he'll just be mad and he doesn't even remember why he's mad. But not that. Like, it was very clear after 15, 20 minutes that he was still mad about the bath. Like, not just now I'm in a bad mood. It was like, this is the thing that I'm still mad about, and until I get that thing.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
He was there and took his clothes off.
yeah. Like,
He's like, "I'm ready
now
now."
it's time.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Most parents want to give their kids baths. Like, why don't you want to clean it?
Well, he just loves the water and the stimulation of physical activity.
Sure. I think those things you can always put at the end of a play schedule for him, so that he knows.
Yeah, and he
He
does
does
the
these things
same.
that I don't like as much, but to do the fun things that he likes at the very end.
It's a reward for.
Yeah, we said use those things as a reward of play that he's learning to do. When you're first doing it, when you're first doing a picture schedule or a play, do it in the same order. So puzzle, beans, cars. Puzzle, beans, trampoline. So he knows, oh, because you said your son knows first then. That's one of the first concepts, first this, then this. Then he'll always know, oh, it'll be followed by something fun. Get through 2 things, and then I'll be followed by something fun. So do them in the same order so they're predictable. Once he gets that, then you can add new things to the schedule, make the schedule longer. You can add them all the way where this whole thing is filled up, and that's 20 minutes of fun. And this thing looks good. You can make this so easily off of Google Images. You don't have to have a fancy board maker. You don't have to pay $500 for a board maker. You can go off the internet and get pictures and make your own icons for them or whatever play. That's what usually how I do it now. And then just have fun with it. Again, don't expect to be 20 minutes in the beginning. It might be 2 minutes if you can get through that first puzzle. Thank you so much. So here's another thing, play with friends, and you can even do this with each other. This was a great clip that they did of creating genuine interest in peers, but you can still do it with even neighborhood friends that he has, or siblings, or cousins. But this one is, if you're gonna have a friend over, make a picture schedule, have a structured activity, but you can even just do this one simple thing, even if you're having a family dinner or relatives over for Thanksgiving. What this is this boy right here has this other little boy's snack, and he's just giving it to him. So he's learning to interact with a peer that's the same age and has the same affinity to a peer as he does to an adult. So it's a really So if you could do that with, say, if you had family friends over, you could do it with you as a parent to begin with, and you just have his treat and you just hand it to him. Then you scoot in a friend and he has the treat and then you just hand. And then that's just creating, okay, now I have another connection to another person. They are good. I can build a relationship with this person. Maybe the next time it's food, maybe the next time he's handing him the puzzle pieces to put in, or the cars to put in, or the balls to put in. So then you're building on play, but this is starting with just creating a genuine interest in peers. Not do it because you have to. Now hang out and like each other. It seems so simple, but it's so, I think it's a great beginning
Trust
for.
building too.
Yes. There's so much trust between the two of them. He's not upset. He's not giving it. He's giving it at the amount that he wants it at. So they figured this out between the two of them, and they don't talk the whole time. So we don't need to be verbal to have a relationship with another friend. So you can even do it with all the close-ended play. You could do that simple thing. So it doesn't mean your child, because he's nonverbal, he doesn't have to have friends. You can do the same thing. So even at school, I'd love to show it to all the teachers so they would do it in the classrooms. But again, you can do it in your house. You can do it when you have friends over for dinner. You can have it when you have Thanksgiving or Christmas. Any questions? That's my presentation for today.
I'd like to get the name of that video so I can look at it and check its next features. If we're not in the mood, then I think that would be really helpful.
Is it like a public or YouTube maybe?
Yeah, you know, I think I posted on our Facebook page on comprehensive. Are you on Facebook? Yeah.
I can look it up, yeah, and send it to you.
It's so, like, again, so simple. And for your son, if he just put his hand out and felt it in his hand, that would be enough.
Yeah, and he will too.
Oh, good.
And then you can create it and do it with all the puzzles he's learned, all the things that he wants, and that's just for your son. It would be that, like, if you had all his cars that he loves,
I'm
he
pretty.
had another friend over and he went like that, he would get all his cars that he loves to play with, and that friend would just get all the cars. It would
How
be
good,
okay at
too.
the end, then he went off to play by himself, but you're just
Oh,
creating an
no.
initial friendship with someone.